Not early.
Tighten up that. Okay, we're streaming now.
Okay. How you been?
Good, how are you?
Amazing.
Me too.
Nice. I can't wait to hear about it.
How'd it go next door?
Huh?
How'd it go next door? Did they treat you alright?
Oh yeah.
Did they recognize you?
I don't know. Some of it,
Yeah.
but I lay low. Did you vote?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you already voted?
Oh yeah.
Is this your first time voting early?
I think it is actually. Other than when they, made us mail it in like during 2020.
I noticed that even the Republicans are telling their people to vote early, whereas last time it was primarily a Democratic thing.
Well, it's hard to get off work, so I just realized I better do it this weekend because I don't want to do.
Good morning. Welcome to Fellowship. I'm Jesse Peterson. Thank you for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will pass on your questions or comments to me. Good morning, y'all. How's everybody?
Good.
Well, you sound excited. A lot of energy. Any questions or comments before I get rolling? Nothing. Nobody had a life this week. Nothing happened. Okay. You got your hand? Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to remember. There is a question that I have. Had something to do with the silent prayer when you're doing it. It's not that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember right now.
All right. The one, yes, sir.
I have a question, and I'm asking the guys here. My mom's 87 years old. She's in a nursing home in Canada. I'm Alex. And she basically told me and my brother that she's going to die by March 13th, 2025, which is her birthday. So she won't hit her 88th birthday. And I goes, okay. And he goes, she's doing everything she can to die. I mean, she's falling once a week now at the nursing home. And I'm thinking my mom is the only one that has all these memories of my mom, of my childhood and my dad. So I was thinking, like I was asking my brother, like he's in Canada, in Vancouver. He's like, what 10 questions would we ask our mom before she dies? So I'm throwing that out to you guys. I need to ask my mom 10 questions or even 100 questions. What would I ask my mom if she's going to die in the next 5 months?
Why do you need to ask her anything?
I want to know what about our past, our childhood. I don't know anything about it.
So then why do you need someone to tell you what to ask her? That was your life. We don't know what your childhood life was
Yeah,
like.
but most people have questions that I don't know the questions to ask. I mean, like...
You don't even know the question to ask your mother about your own life?
I know some, but if I get feedback from other guys, then I would go,
That's
oh,
dumb.
I would have never thought that question.
That's dumb.
It's not dumb. It's a great idea.
You think it's a great idea to ask somebody else to give you question or what to ask your mother about your life?
Yes, I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea.
No, it's not. No.
It is.
How will we know about your life? We don't know.
I mean, like, everybody's got a general question. What if your mom died and was going to die in the next 5 months? What questions would you ask her? That's what I would ask.
The only question I would ask is the life insurance paid up?
She's in a
That's
nursing
the only thing I want to know. Is the life insurance
She's been
paid
in a
up?
nursing home for the last 12 years in Canada. She's got no
Is
money.
she trying to commit suicide or something?
No, she's just giving up hope. She basically told me and my brother Mike that she's going to die before her 80th birthday. So we're like blown away. Like
Why? Why are you blown away?
Because she's basically given up hope.
And why would you be blown away by that?
Because means if someone gives up hope, they're on the path to death, right? So
Anyone that has hope is on the path to death.
no, I disagree.
Why?
Hope is what makes you live.
No, it doesn't.
It is 100%.
Hope kill you.
Hope it does not kill you. I disagree.
How does it make you live?
Hope keeps you living. Hope prevents you from committing suicide. Hope keeps you living in a nursing home.
Well, why so many people in the nursing home, so many people dying and committing suicide if hope keeps them alive?
Because they've lost hope
And where does hope come from?
from God.
God doesn't give you hope.
Whoa. God doesn't give you hope. So who does give you hope?
Satan.
No, I disagree. I think hope is one of the foundational things that keeps you going.
In what way?
It makes you, hope is like, okay, you come to church every Sunday. That gives you hope.
But where does hope come from?
Hope comes from, oh my gosh. Oh, geez. Oh, I hate these questions. Hope comes from your brain, I guess, or hope comes from your heart, hope comes from your soul, hope comes from your ambitions and goals.
And all those things sound like hope to you.
You want a better life. That's the definition of hope, wanting a better life.
But why no one gets a better life that has hope?
Terrible parenting.
So everybody that have hope, they're not receiving better life because of parents. Why does the hope work?
You're stuck in a bad place if you had a bad mom or a bad dad, but your life is, your goal after age 18 is to overcome your horrible parenting.
But why no one overcomes and hope doesn't work?
No, some people overcome their bad childhood,
No.
and some
Do you
people
know
don't.
of anyone that has hope and hope worked?
What?
Do you know anyone that has hope and hope is working for them?
Life is a struggle.
Do you know of anyone that has hope and hope is working?
Okay, well, I'm sure my brother has hope. And
Do you know of anyone that has hope and hope is working?
It's working for him, but not in all areas.
So it's not working there. Do you have hope?
I have hope.
And is it working?
It's working.
Then why do you need someone to tell you what to ask your mother about your life as a kid?
Because, I know nothing about my childhood from age 15 and under,
Well,
basically.
we don't know.
No, but there's general questions you would ask your mom if she goes, honey, or my sons, I plan to die in the next 5 months.
That's
just
when you
letting
ask
you know.
That's when you ask about the insurance.
No, she's got no money, but I'm just dying to find out.
Does she have a house?
No, she's a nursing home. She's poor
So
as
she has
hell.
nothing?
She's poor as heck.
Well, there's nothing to ask her then.
No, I want to find out what was my dad like? What I like when I was 5 years
So
old?
ask him those things. Ask her those things.
Yeah, I know, but if I want feedback from other guys, so
No
that
one here can give you feedback about your life, man.
No, but
that doesn't even make sense.
it makes sense. Like if your mother died,
I
or
asked about
your
the
mother
insurance.
died. What?
I would ask her about the insurance.
Oh, I know, but not
And if
everybody.
she has a house, whose name is on the will, so that we don't have to fight over the house.
Yeah, but you're money driven. Where other people aren't so money driven. right? Other people aren't so money driven.
Who, like who?
Well, everybody's money driven,
You just said other people wasn't.
but not as much as you.
Like who?
Everybody here in the audience here,
They're money driven. Look at them.
yeah, they're all money driven.
And so who is not money driven?
There's not one person in here that's not money driven.
So you said everybody's not money driven.
Not as much as you are.
That's not it. But anyway, we got to move on. Nobody knows what you should ask. You just said you want to know what your life was like.
Like top 10 questions.
So answer those top 10.
I don't know the top 10 questions.
Well, don't ask. Just ask the ones that come to your mind.
I actually have probably 100 to 200 questions I would like to ask her.
So ask all those that come to your mind.
And then I'll get my brother to ask her in the nursing home.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Amazing. Okay. That's your hand? No?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he did, but
I did. But it's fine.
I just wanted to ask, it couldn't have just dawned on you that your mother was gonna pass one day. So why the sudden urgency for other people's feedback about?
Oh, because she said she's
But
gonna die. She
but
said she's gonna die in
You
March.
have to have known. I mean, you know your mother's gonna. Even I know my parents are gonna die. So just ask whatever you just ask. Like it
Okay,
couldn't
we'll
have
move-
just
we'll move on
dawned
from
on
it.
you.
Yeah, let's move on.
It's not that deep. Just ask.
The one thing I want to say is that elections are coming up next week, and I want to encourage you all to vote for whomever you're going to vote for, but don't overreact to whatever the results are. Do not overreact. And then now I'm hearing that the results might not come until 7 days later, or so you might not even know between Tuesday night and Wednesday who won or not. So the most important thing to vote and don't overreact. Because they want you to overreact. They want you to get mad. They want you to do crazy stuff, and they can lock you up. They can use that, so don't overreact. Everybody voted already? Oh, okay. There's a little voting place right next door if you want to go after this and vote. All right. I have a question that and I'll tell you why in a minute. Let's see. I'll start with you first. When you were growing up and became a young woman, I hate using that now. A young woman, like we don't know you're a woman, right?
I am.
Did men gossip and or try to get revenge on other people? Were you around men like that growing up?
No, I don't think so.
You were not around men growing up who gossip and revengeful and act like women?
No, I think I kind of grew up where the men around me were not emotional and you were taught to not be emotional. Well, men weren't. You know, that was something
Right.
for ladies, but not for men.
Oh, okay. Are you surprised to see men being that way today?
Yes and no. I guess I'm not that surprised with how women do have so much influence. And I think with not having as many fathers and there's so many single mothers, that it's not that surprising. I think it's really unfortunate, but not that surprising when I step back and think about it.
And when you see men gossiping and being revengeful, it's like, well, I'll tell you that in a minute. What do you think when you see it or hear about it?
Kind of pathetic, I guess, is sort of how I see it. Like, just disappointing, and it just seems very weak, I guess, is how I view it.
Amazing. And when you were growing up, did you see or hear men gossiping and trying to get revenge?
A certain type of man.
Oh, yeah? And what would you think when you hear it?
Lame.
Lame?
Yep.
And why?
Because it just seemed like a waste of their time.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
knew, even as a kid, I knew, okay, these can't be the ones to look up to. Because
You knew something wrong with it.
it just didn't seem like very productive. And then the quiet, silent type was just getting stuff done in the meantime.
Oh,
They were
okay.
trifling.
Amazing. And when you hear men doing it today, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's not optimal for society, but I also understand why it's happening.
And why?
It just looks like that's being encouraged overall. And well, I grew up in a neighborhood that was pretty much all single mothers.
Oh,
So even when they might not have been necessarily weak men, they were still having to overcome this lack of guidance that they had. There's a real lack of guidance and a bunch of bad influences that just couldn't wait to draw in their troops.
yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want to sit up front with us? We like you.
I like it here.
I'm sorry?
I like it here.
You feel safe back there?
Yeah.
You feel safe?
I feel very safe over here.
From what?
I don't know. It's comfortable.
Do you want to be uncomfortable?
No.
Come and sit with us. It feels nice to have. What it feel like coming up now? Come on up a little bit more. Do you feel uncomfortable?
No.
Do you feel less safe?
No. It feels normal.
It feels normal?
Yeah.
Right on. So when you were growing up, did you hear men gossiping and being revengeful and like ladies?
The men around me, no. I grew up with my grandpa and my dad, and they didn't really talk much.
Right.
But I would hear about neighbors and their husbands, and they were very revengeful and very emotional. And I felt unsafe with those types of men.
Yeah. When you see men doing it now, what do you think?
I think they're dangerous because they're unpredictable. Like, I wouldn't know what they would do to me or other women.
Would you ever date a man with that personality?
No, I hope not.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Right here. This young man. When you were growing up, you're a millennial, right?
Like on the cusp of Gen Z.
Oh, okay. When you were growing up, did you hear men gossiping and being revengeful like women?
Never like my father or his peers, but maybe my own.
You did, growing up?
From my own, maybe, yeah.
And what did you think about that?
Just seemed normal, I'd say.
Oh, okay. It seemed normal.
Yeah.
Does it still seem normal to you as an adult?
I'd say it's all I know, sure.
I'm sorry?
It's all I know, yeah.
That's all you know.
Sure, yeah.
And so it seemed normal then that men should act like women.
Sure, yeah.
Wow.
That's what
I
I've seen.
understand. Amazing. Do we have any more Z's? Generation Z's? When you were growing up, were men around you gossiping and revengeful and everything?
No, not around me. And that's what I teach my daughter to stay away from, because those guys are the dangerous guys. They try to befriend the women in the wrong ways to eventually get them to sleep with them. And I teach my daughter to stay away from men like that.
Oh, okay.
And because my belief is men and women cannot really be friends.
Yeah.
Sorry to come off that way, but
And why are you sorry to come off that way?
I mean, I just don't want people to take it the wrong way, but that's my
Take
belief.
what the wrong way? Too late.
I guess I shouldn't say that, but
Take it the wrong way in what way? What do you mean by that?
I mean, there's ladies in the room, and I just, they came in late, and then,
And you don't want them to take it the wrong way?
I mean, men like that, in where I come from, they're bitches, so.
Oh, you're gonna really get deep on it. No, we should take that the wrong way.
All right.
You did
I
fine
apologize.
at first.
I apologize, but
Okay.
Those are the creeps that,
When you say I don't want the women to take it the wrong way,
Yes.
what's the wrong way in your mind?
I guess, to judge me with my character, or
Oh. Oh, okay.
I
All
guess.
right. Amazing. Nick, you're a millennial, right?
Yeah,
When
on
you
the
were
cusp, maybe, kind of like him. What?
So you're around the same age?
I'm
Like,
saying
in
on
that,
the.
in that bracket.
I'm saying like close to Z, but I think millennial.
Oh, okay. When you were growing up,
Correct.
so what?
He's guessing the year, and he's
What else?
around there. Yes.
Oh, okay. When
won't
you
say
were
my
growing
age.
up, were your age men
Yeah, hearing these
gossiping and
conversations.
being revengeful and all that?
Yeah, they were, and hearing people talk made me think. Trying to look back, and I remember looking back, and I'm thinking, the older men growing up, I remember them quieter, not exactly strong, not exactly gossiping, but just reserved, pushed away. I remember thinking of like, there was only a few male teachers in my high school, and they were all quiet, pushed away. And then all the guys my age growing up, back then it seemed normal, but I'm looking back now in memories, and they all talk sing-songy, like, like women and gossiping.
And, and what did you think about it?
It seemed normal.
Oh, it seemed normal?
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't even, it seemed normal.
that's amazing. So when you hear it now, does it still seem normal?
It stands out. It stands out a little.
Meaning what?
Meaning I could tell there that this young man shouldn't be singing while talking. And it just stands out.
Oh, okay.
Not just the gossiping, but this, shall I call it, the spirit behind their speech. Mama.
Oh, okay. How about you, Hassan? I mean, not Hassan. Oh, me, same thing.
Yeah, I'm a little older, like cusp of Gen X, I
you,
guess.
so what
Yeah.
now?
I said I'm a little older, so I'm like a old millennial Gen Xer, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But-
when you were growing up,
Growing up, the men in my family never talked.
they didn't gossip
They didn't
or
gossip
revengeful or anything?
No, zero.
So when you see it now, what do you think about it?
It's just, it just looks like clown attention-seeking kind of behavior.
I'm sorry?
Kind of like clown attention-seeking behavior.
Oh, okay. Okay, I want to move on with this. What was Jesus like?
What was Jesus like?
Yeah. The Son of
Peaceful.
God, what was he like?
At
And
peace.
the little you learned about him and whatever you know about him, what was he like?
He was a peaceful man.
Peaceful?
No anger. He knew secrets that not everyone knows.
Speak up for me.
That's pretty much all I know about him, that he was a peaceful man and he was a wise man. And his message to us was that we could all be like him, pretty much.
Are you like him?
I'm trying, but
But what?
I get frustrated sometimes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
And why?
Because I feel that things are a lot harder nowadays with, like, my own politicians don't have my back. Our bosses don't really have our back no more. They want cheaper labor. And it's
This your
just-
first time here?
No, I've been here like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you feel like things are harder now?
Yeah.
Harder than when?
I'd say harder than back in 2019, before COVID.
Right.
I felt that when Trump was in, of the president, I felt that there was just more money, more opportunity everywhere. And now it's dead. Like I
It's
even had
harder
to
for
go
you.
to Ontario.
How
in
old are
December.
you?
29.
So at 29, you need them to be that way for you?
What do you mean?
Let's say the economy was flourishing. You make a lot of money and all that.
I feel like
you
I
think
would.
you would have a better life?
I think so.
You wouldn't be angry anymore?
No, because a lot of little things wouldn't be there no more, like irritating me.
But you'll still be angry, just not the little things
No, I don't think I'll be angry no more.
at all?
No.
So
'Cause
you
it's
think
just
that's
the
what
little
made you
things.
angry?
Huh?
Did that make you angry?
What makes me angry?
The politics stuff and the boss don't have your back and...
Yeah, I hate how everything is like
So
lawyer
you
talk.
really think that that made you angry?
So it's not making me angry?
It's added to your anger. You were already angry before you ran into all that.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So why not drop your anger so nothing can make you angry?
Because they keep throwing things at me, like little darts, and it's just like, ah.
But if you drop your anger, no one can throw things at you.
But I'll still feel them though, right? But I just
Oh,
gotta
so
ignore
without-
them, or I'll still feel their.
No. How can you feel anger if you don't have it inside of you?
That's true. So then when someone annoys
How can
you,
you
like, what do you
feel
do?
anger when you don't have it inside of you?
You can't feel it if it's not inside of you.
So if someone threw little dots at you, it wouldn't bother you, right?
Yeah.
So why don't
It's
you
like
drop
you
your
said,
anger?
whenever something does happen, it's that little voice that's like, oh, why is this, and it convinces me to get mad. So I
Right.
see what you mean, yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
But, yeah.
Okay, thank you. What was Jesus like?
In what sense?
What?
In what sense?
What?
What was Jesus like from a personality perspective? What did he look like? What do you mean?
No, what was Jesus like? You ever read about him?
Yes.
And what was he like?
From a personality perspective, I think he was he was
Everybody
reserved.
relax. It's not a test. We were just fellowshipping. Relax.
But I think that's just a very broad question. So I'm trying to think if I can pinpoint it from what was he like if I was to describe him to a friend or something, right? I would say he was very, to a certain point, he was reserved. He spoke very limited amount. If you kind of maybe compared him to other prophets or etc., I don't think he spoke as much as other people wanted him to speak, right?
Okay.
And then, yeah, I mean, obviously he was from God, so he had a lot of built-in wisdom. And then if you think about his training when he was a kid, he was trained in the biblical way, so he kind of had all that stuff inside of him. But he didn't come off as, I'm going to tell you the truth if you want to hear it or not, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Raymond, what was Jesus like? Raymond, if anybody know, Raymond know. He know the history of Jesus.
To me, Jesus was a strong, wise, and gracious man who exuded inner strength nobody wanted to understand.
Amazing. See that? The reason I'm asking this, well, let me ask Francisco. He a little Bible thumper. Oh, he at the door. Okay. The reason I'm asking this is because, I do a lot of counseling. I talk to a lot of people. And I know men and women, but especially women, who have gone to men for help. And they share their personal life with the men. And the men go and gossip about them. Or condemn them later about it. Or don't have answers for them at all. And they went to the man because they thought that the man would have, cause I guess there's a lot of talk now how women should be with men and men should leave women, whatever. But they found that it was a horrible mistake when they went to the men. It was like going to another girlfriend or another woman and telling it, and the man would go gossip about it, or the men would be revengeful, and if they didn't do what the man wanted them to do, they would try to get revenge. Or they meet these men, and these men would try to get revenge against others. And I'm hearing it over and over, and men are doing it to each other too, not just to women. But it looked like, and that's what I'm asking, that the man's nature and the woman's nature has become one. that in the good old days, the women would be like you were saying, be like the men, you know, quiet, not gossiping, no revenge. But now the men have become like the women. Am I saying it wrong? What do you say to that? I'm not saying it wrong?
No, you're spot on.
Really? And so I'm wondering, how will the order of God, how will things ever get better if the men are now acting like the women? Emotional, gossiping, revengeful, and who will the women rely on? And how can they rely on a man like that when the order of God, God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman? How can a woman have any man over them when it's the same spirit as hers? In the good old days, I really thought about this so I can have an example. In growing up, I don't know one man that gossiped or tried to get revenge. I'm not saying it didn't happen, I just didn't hear about it. And whenever you would hear other women gossiping, the men would correct them really fast. Don't do that. Or they would tell their daughter, stay away from that woman, she gossip. Or, you know, they would correct it. And Jesus knew everybody's business. Jesus knew everything about everybody. And no matter what it was, he knew about you. He didn't gossip about you. He didn't try to get revenge against you. He didn't try to put you down. He didn't judge you. He showed you how to overcome it. That is gone now. How will the order of God work if you guys are acting like the women? And how can women rely on you to tell you anything, knowing that you're going to act like the girlfriend about it when you get mad at them? How? The order of God would never work because the men are like the women now. I see men at the gym, and they wear their hair back, and then they pull a little like that, and then they have a little bang hanging down behind. I'm like, how did that feel doing that? You know what I mean? But the order of God cannot work. Christ loved all, he judged none. And we as men, and ladies too, to be honest, but we as men supposed to use him as an example. He was our big brother. He set the example of the way we should treat one another and the way men should lead the way. He showed the way. There shouldn't be one person there was not one person that could go to Jesus and not trust him, knowing that he was going to give them the right answer, point the right way, and when the conversation was over, it was done. It's not like that anymore. It used to be that way, and now it's all like it's normal, right? Y'all think it's normal to be crazy like this, right? Men, you're supposed to be, it ain't about sex with the woman. It ain't about, and then the men are like so dumb, you gonna obey me? Who wanna obey you? And you wouldn't even have to tell the woman to obey you if you had the right spirit. If you gotta say something wrong. And there are no situations where the men are trying to force the women to be like what we talk about here. They're not even that way themselves. How are things going to get better ever if the light is not working? Yes. How? It's not going to get better. The men are just weak and feminine and angry and emotional and judgmental, just like a woman. Yes.
So maybe this is just a U.S. specific question.
I'm sorry?
Maybe this is just a U.S. specific question. But
no, around the world. I hear from women all the time in my counseling thing, and even when I counsel with couples on FaceTime, I'm looking at both the man and the woman, right? The man is worse off than the woman. He's crying, he's trying to satisfy her, he's worried, he is this. So it seems to be around the world. I was thinking of U.S. primarily.
Okay, because I think, is it possible that we've come to the point where life is almost too easy, right? If you look at 1800s, 1700s, etc., as men, we had, you have to go out and work hard, like exceptionally hard all day long. You didn't have time to gossip. You didn't have time to kind of do some of these
No,
things.
it just wasn't in his nature.
Yeah.
Because even if you didn't have a job, your nature is what you live with, right? It wouldn't be in you to do that. Working hard won't keep you from gossiping. It's in the nature. It seems to be in the man's nature. It's like the man and the woman nature has become one now, where it used to be the woman nature would become like the man nature.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to figure out what's the change point from what it used to be to what is now. What has changed that has made us more to be?
I think
in
I
that?
know, but I want to hear from some other people. What changed up? And Doug kind of old, so that's why I went right to him.
Well, what changed? So when I went to my 20-year school reunion, and I saw the guys that I grew up with, and back then they were tough guys, working, fighting. They were just guys, teenage guys fighting, right? and to look at them 20 years later, they were totally changed. And maybe they still, or maybe they're just wild and still fight, but they were totally changed when it comes to their wives and everything. They were like docile. They took orders from her. And I think that even if there's a guy if the dad is there, but he's that way, or there is no dad, then the kid's just going to grow up. If he sees the dad doing that, he's going to grow up doing that. And if he doesn't see, if the dad isn't there, he's just going to do what the mom kind of shows him to do.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I could see. Like it just kind of amazed me because these were tough guys. Like why would how could you change so much?
Amazing.
Yeah, very strange.
The man, did I see your hand? Go ahead.
I was gonna say earlier when you said that the men are weaker and stuff, the roles have changed, and women are taught right now that that they're as strong as men, that they don't need a man, and they're baddies and this and that, and that's what liberalism and globalism is. And right now it's happening all over the world, even in my country. They come in and they...
What's your country?
Well, I'm Armenian, but I was born and
Okay.
raised in Kuwait.
Armenia, okay.
So that's the roles are just reversed, and that's what.
But you can't
that's what
blame the
causes
woman
destruction.
for it, though. You can't blame the woman because the woman can't make you act like a woman.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
You know.
They're trying
You said
to
they
cause
can?
destruction.
So what now?
That's what causes this destruction, and so the family unit doesn't stay together. When they think everybody is, you don't need a man, you don't need a man, go make your money. But those are all women, when they turn 45, 50 years old, they look back at their life and they say...
But what made the man start acting like the woman to gossip and revengeful and not lead the way? Because Christ led the way, and the order of God is for men to lead the way, to be that example. So when the ladies need them or the children need them advice or whatever, right? Or a stranger need advice, and the stranger should be able to come to you and tell you, ask for the advice, and you should be able to point the way and then forget it and not attack the stranger or not try to hurt the stranger.
That's what I was saying before, that not all men are like that, but those are the weak men that try to befriend a woman, and they think they have to be like a woman and gossip with them to ultimately end up sleeping with them. That's what.
But they ain't sleeping with all of them, are they?
No, that's what I'm saying. The woman thinks they're friends.
Ain't that
but,
much sleeping in the world.
So that's what it is. The roles are reversed. And
yes.
I was just gonna say, I think part of the problem is that there really isn't as much emphasis on like Christian faith in America
Yeah.
anymore. And that's where we've really gone astray, is because like we don't have that foundation and those morals and those values, and they're not really taught anymore. It's just kind of like growing up in a secular home is fine. You don't need to believe in God. You don't need to follow Christ. And I think we're kind of doing away with a lot of that thinking, and that's really kind of corrupt our
That's so
society and
unfortunate.
culture. Mm-hmm.
You're right about that. I hear other guys telling me that, I guess a lot of millennials and Z, you guys spend a lot of time online and on the computer thing, right? And the women are telling me that, and guys too, that the men online are gossiping worse than the women. They attack, before the woman will attack, the men are doing it. Do you see things like that?
Yes.
Isn't that like amazing?
Yeah, it's sad, but yeah, it's something. Because I was thinking, and I think I've talked to you about this before as well, is, I know the men that I find that I go to because I'm not married for advice and for things where I know they can provide guidance are usually men who do have a very solid faith. I think I've talked to you about how I have a friend who used to be my boss, but now we're just kind of friends. But I know I can always go to him and he doesn't judge, and I've never heard him complain about anything in his life. And I know if I do go and confide in him, he will give me pretty solid answer. But I also know he's not going to go and run and tell this person or this person. And
that's how it used to be. Mm-hmm. You never, growing up, you never thought for a second that you tell your issue to another man, that they're going to try to hurt you with it, gossip about it, or anything. It was done. They give you the best solid advice, and it was over. But nowadays, you can't do that. The men are worse than the women. Things are not going to get better. But ladies, don't rely on the men. You got to go to God yourself, really. And don't join forces with them. When they're gossiping, to get away from them, they're dangerous. All right? The ladies, you got to work yourself and not rely on men. Yes. And then I come here. Did I see your hair?
I mean, when he was saying, I can't remember what you said now. You said that a woman can't make you be like that.
Yeah, a woman can't make a man be like a woman.
Well, if
He
she
already
raises
a
him-
woman.
What about when she raises them in that nature?
Oh yeah, that come from the mother.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right about that.
But-
oh, okay.
but eventually-
he said that the grown men be acting like that. The women making the grown men act that way, and then they want to sleep with them.
Well, that's
Something like
seems to
that.
be the new hustle, right? That they can kind of use. I understand what he's saying. It's too long and drawn out. I'm not going to get into it, but I think you can overcome, even if you are raised a certain way. You can eventually overcome it.
Of course, you can
And
definitely overcome it.
From my experience, it does help if you have a Christian foundation. Although that's a very broad term because not all churches are
Especially
equal.
nowadays.
Especially nowadays, you could almost sink deeper into a darker place.
And do you realize that things never going to get better? Well, the women can get better without the men. You don't need a man to get better. Do you understand that? You need to forgive your mothers and your fathers, return to the Father, and He will do the same for you and you that He's doing for those men who are working on themselves. So I don't want you to think for 1 second you need a man for that. You only need a man if you're going to get married, have some babies, and you got to stay home with the kid. Other than that, you don't need a man.
I mean, probably everybody should stay away from anybody until they've worked on themselves.
Evidently.
For that matter.
Yeah. Yeah. What a mess, huh?
That's the result.
It's not going to get better because the women and the men have become one instead of the women become one with the man.
Right. And that's an interesting point you made about how if, a man, a lot of times a man will just assume that they can dominate the woman by force rather than just by living a life of example.
Right.
That without any force.
Without any force.
Yeah, that's a
You're
misconception.
not supposed to force a woman to act like you think she should be acting, or what you hear us talk about, or what you've learned. But they're trying to force it, and they're as crazy as a doorknob.
Right. I know some men even
As
think that's
crazy as a doorknob, and they're trying to make her be right.
Right.
Oh, you gotta cook. You gonna say I'm gonna cook for me? Right. You gotta do this. I'm like, why? Yep. Put some hot grits on you.
Right.
No, don't do that, ladies. I'm not inciting violence. What do you always say when you incite violence? I disavow. He always incite violence, then he disavow. But I don't blame the women. A woman doesn't want to be with another woman unless she's lesbian. But women, men, I can hear these men talking those principles, right? But they're not even the light. They're not the example. And the woman can't follow a dark light. You got to be it. And when you be it, as you said, you don't have to make a woman do anything. You don't have to down her and talk about her and try to force her to do anything. She will follow the light. You know, in God, you know, Christ never tried to make anything work. And as men and women, you're not supposed to be trying to make anything work except your job or your car or your house. You can't just learn these things by rote and then think that the woman is going to do it anyway. And if she's now you got the wrong woman. I don't know how, I mean, I do know how, this is crazy. This is what you call insanity. You got to be it. Christ was it. You are the light of the world, men, except the light is out for now. But return to the light, and life will happen on its own. The men are beating a woman and acting like a woman. I don't know how the women have the sex with men like that. If you want a lot of sex, be a man. The woman will make you take it. They won't charge you. Yes, who was talking? Yeah, I see your hand up. Oh, right here first, and then okay.
So that whole like women logic, I have like a first eyewitness to it kind of failing.
Yeah.
When let's say the guy is unemotional and he's, you know, a man, but he's not like there's unfaithfulness and stuff, and the woman will still keep being with him. So what I learned is women don't care about cheating or money. What they care about is just you being a man.
Yep.
Then why do they lie, though, and say that they do care about cheating and money when they don't?
Because that's their job. So you can bring them out of their hell.
Because that's what I witnessed, because I don't want to gossip, but
Right,
I
yeah.
moved into a new place with a friend. He moved in his girlfriend. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I've
Big
known you since
mistake.
elementary. But I see this. I see that he doesn't really care, but she is glued onto him like I don't know, it's just the most
sometime,
weird,
though,
it's like
let's say
an opposite kind of.
But let's say he's weak like that and he cheated or whatever.
And he
She
doesn't
could
work either, so
she
it's
could
like,
she
it
could
blows my
resent him.
mind.
She could resent him, and that hatred for him make her stay too. Because in her mind, the devil said, oh, he'll do better next time. He'll
just don't
get
get
right.
it.
He'll
I've-
make it right. That's a setup too.
Damn, how come I can't find one like that? Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, I just don't get it. Like, okay, well, yeah, I guess what you said
Yeah,
makes sense. But it's
the
just,
anger
it
can make you
bothers me.
stay in a location that you don't want to be too, because you think it feels like you can control that person when you're angry. Then eventually,
But that's the thing,
you're
he
gonna
doesn't get angry
irritable.
at her. So
I'm
it's like,
sorry?
I see it.
Yeah.
He never gets angry at her. If
Oh,
she
he-
does do something, he's just like, just leave.
He's angry though, because if he wasn't angry, he wouldn't be doing those things. If he were not angry, he wouldn't have moved into her place.
No, he moved her into my place.
Oh, to your place?
Well, it's both of our places, but
Oh, I see.
there was an
I got you.
agreement that it was just going to be me and him.
Okay.
But he moved her in, and I see all these things, and I'm like, why doesn't she leave? And it just boggles my mind.
Right.
It just,
Well, it's the anger. I promise you it's the anger. Really. Amazing. Let me do this. I want you to think about the order of God. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, right? But it doesn't have to, the woman can go to God without the man. It's just that if she has a husband, she can't hate her husband and go to God. You got to not hate him so you can go to, forgive him and go to God, all right? You're not stuck at all, ladies. Don't think that. Don't let anyone tell you that. And but I want the men to know that this is abnormal, this is evil, that anybody, man or woman, should be able to go to another man and talk about their issue, whatever, and you can point the way and the subject is to God, no matter what happened. You're not supposed to be turning on each other because you're supposed to have understanding. And we have understanding, there's no way you can turn on one another. Somebody tell you the issue, you don't turn on them because you understand. The only reason you would turn, you don't understand. Satan is your daddy. This has to, well, it don't have to change. But in order to have a good life, this has to overcome. Christ made you the head. And the head is supposed to lead the way. Not try to force someone to be your way, come your way, and all that. This is abnormal. And I know it does have a lot to do with being raised by single mothers. The fathers are not there to be an example. Because in the good old days, you did have that for the most part. The fathers and the grandfather. I know nothing about my grandfather's weakness at all. If he had a weakness, I don't know about it. I never heard my grandmother talk about his weakness or him. And he was running a plantation. You ever ran a plantation? When the white man said he sick, we had to say we sick too. But he never complained. His woman never knew his weakness. And so she had nothing never ever to say about him bad because she didn't know. He never showed it. And then my father, I only learned about his weakness when I overcame my anger and I was able to ask him certain questions. That's how I learned about that. But he didn't carry that around on his coat sleeve. He didn't let his children see his weakness. Men, this is abnormal. The world cannot get better like that. And a lot of women are suffering because they think that, or they thought at one point that they can rely on the man. You can't. A lot of these men don't even have jobs. They're crying. They're on Oprah. One last thing about that, then I'm gonna move on. But this is abnormal. This is true. This is not the way it's meant to be. All right. One other thing, and you vote how you want. I'm just making a point of observation. In the good old days, a man would have never thought about having a woman over him. He would not have thought of that. He would not have accepted it or even imagined it. And then in the older days, good old days, women would not have imagined being the head of a man either. To be honest with you. That has all changed too. But nowadays, men are like itching to have a woman over them. They're like dying for it. And they would choose the woman over the man anytime to be over them. What's up with that? Doesn't like a little bell go off and say, ding-a-ling, no, 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 no. I know men, they would prefer to have a woman over them than a man. As boss, as leader, so-called leader thing. That is insane. I've never seen men do that. And they'll get mad if you say, you're a beta. What is up with, don't y'all know? Is it like something left that say no, it's not supposed to be this way? And then the men will like be happy to follow the women, and they be like, no one in particular. Doesn't something go off a little bit? Like you say, well, you know what, baby, I would never have my wife be the head of anything, and I got to go and be the vice anything too. You know what I'm saying? They call you the first mom. or first husband, or whatever they call him. What?
Second gentleman?
Something. And how you show up at events like that? And this is, anyway, men, find your way back. Really, you're acting like women. The women need you to be solid. They don't need you to be ready for sex. They need you to be solid, because sometimes they run into situations they're not sure how to handle it. They don't even have to know you, and they should be able to talk to you, and you point the way and be done with it. Not to call her a name, not to gossip about her, not to assume anything, but ask her to point the way and be done with it. Yes.
One more thing, and I swear I'm not gonna speak again. This is the main reason that why Muslim countries don't want the West to come in and influence them, because they know once they're tempted, their family is done. It gets destructed. This is the main reason why Muslim countries don't want our influence in that part of the world.
Right, but in there, they're still overdoing it. In a way, they still try to control the woman. You know what I mean? You don't want your wife, you don't want the woman not to be able to drive.
No.
You don't want her to have to wear all those hot winter clothes in the summertime, all face locked up. You know what I mean?
That's not what I mean.
Oh, what do you mean?
Talking. They got their own problems, and I don't agree with them, but that's the main issue that they have with the West, is they don't need our influence.
Yeah.
But the driving part and all that stuff, no, I'm not with that, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So.
Amazing. What a mess, huh? You can't, who said that? You can't blame the media. We are responsible for ourselves. Each adult is responsible for him or herself. You can't blame the media, you can't blame the politicians, you can't blame anyone, because you are responsible for your own self. And then as children, our parents are responsible. But they can't make you do any more than what you do. The media can present anything they want, or any candidate, or whatever they want. All you have to do is say, no, that's not, my mind made up, I want to do this. They can't make you do anything. You're in control of your world. And yes, they will try to influence you. You're right about that. They do all these crazy things. But if you take control of your own world, no one can influence you. Zero. No commercials or no anything if you are in charge of your world. Your own world. Are you in charge of your own world?
No.
And you're not, and why not?
I guess what comes to my mind is once we talked about confidence and how I said I think, having confidence is just going with God. It's not like we talked about living in the past or in the future. And so I think I just kind of live with that confidence. So I don't know if it's really in my control.
You want 100% confidence?
Yes.
Do you believe you can have it?
Yes.
You believe it's possible?
Yes.
But you just don't know how to get it?
I think I do. I think I'm just on the path to getting there. But I want to be there.
Anyone here has 100% confidence? Oh, anybody here will be able to help you. Sorry. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Okay.
All right. Did I see your hand?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I feel like a lot of the Muslim people, they judge us because of our media or because of what's popular, like all the rap music and all that. But not all of us listen to it. Like me, I don't like mainstream rap music. I like underground. So it doesn't represent the whole country,
Do you have 100% confidence?
And my ideas and all that, yeah.
No, do you have 100% confidence?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
And how did you get 100% confidence? Because the idea is not confidence.
By knowing the truth.
By knowing the truth? That's how you got it? Oh, okay. Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
Did I see your hand? Right here. I understand.
when you were talking about in the beginning about I don't remember. Anyways, what I was gonna say is I caught myself this week judging myself in a situation where I was a part of a group, and I started noticing that they were like that, gossiping, talking about others, and I was like, all right, I'm out, and they were all like, well, tried talking me back into it, and I can catch myself. I was judging myself, and I almost went back into it, and I was like, when am I going to take control of like my own life? Like they got nothing to do with me. They don't even know me, so there's no point of me even judging myself in that.
Yeah,
and so I let
that's
that
right.
all go, and that worked out fine.
Right on.
But we were talking about it's about my kid. About gossiping. At school, they've been gossiping with each other. They're kids, you know. And her mother was just like, oh, you need to go and just tell them off. Tell them what, how it is. And so my daughter knows to come to me, and she finally came to me about it. And she's like, what do I do? I was like, if it's got nothing to do with you, tell them, don't talk to me. It ain't got nothing to do with you. She's like, well, what if they say this or that? I'm like, you got to realize they don't run your life.
Right on,
You don't want to
man.
get caught up in the drama. And I was like, remember this whole week you were like, oh, I don't know what to say, who to talk to, I'm scared. I was like, if you would have just let that all go, it would have never happened.
Yeah.
And so now she like always comes to me with stuff. I'm not the greatest leader, but I'm starting to guide her in the right way.
That's what's needed, believe me.
And I don't have 100% confidence, but
You don't,
I think
why not?
I think if I knew myself more, I would have it all. I'm there. I'm not afraid of anything. Nothing scares me.
Yeah.
Like I said when I first got here, I wouldn't even let a woman drive me here. Like I'm gonna lead my life the best way I see fit. And I used to have like female caregivers. It was a lot of drama. Now I don't have anybody, but if I need help, I always call a guy. I don't want to deal with the drama. I always call my dad because my dad's always a big proponent of never blaming anyone but yourself. Don't blame anybody for a problem. Figure it out.
When you get to the point in life, ladies and men, where you can never blame another person again, it's paradise. It is paradise. Really, I want to encourage you to stay with it. Stay working on yourself. You will get there. Way in the back, why don't you have 100% confidence?
Why don't I have 100% confidence? Because I'm not where I should be in life.
And where should you be?
More successful, more happier, more peace of mind, more loving, less reactive, less.
And you think all those things would bring confidence?
They would lead me to the path of confidence.
You don't know one person the richest person in the world doesn't have it.
They have confidence in certain areas, but not in all
certain
areas.
area confidence is not 100% confidence.
I don't think anyone has 100% confidence.
Why not? Why do you think that? Why do you
Because
say
we're humans. Human nature is just like evil, I guess.
How many people agree with him that no one has because you're human? Oh, okay. Amazing. So you don't think, did Christ have it?
Yeah. I think
Christ had 100% confidence?
I believe he did.
So if he had it, why can't you have it?
Oh, I can't be like Christ.
Why
oh my
not?
gosh. I'm not even close to it.
Why can't you be like him, though?
It would take a lifetime to be like Jesus Christ.
Why can't you be like him?
Bad parenting.
You gonna blame them forever?
Not bad parenting. It's just that.
You're only 80 right now.
Yeah, I know, but and bad choices, and bad decisions, and bad mentors, bad gurus.
When will you stop all the badness?
Soon.
The young lady, do you have 100% confidence?
No.
And why not?
I guess it's because I get distracted.
You get distracted, meaning what?
With the new understanding of being awake or aware, I realize that whenever I'm afraid or unconfident, it's because I'm listening to a thought in my head about something that could happen, which is not happening. So it's the distraction of things that are not occurring that bring on the fear or whatever. It's distraction.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Did I see your hand? No? Oh, okay. Right here then. Do you have 100% confidence?
100% confident in the things that I think I know and the things that I don't know. And I'm confident in my limitations. So.
And why do you have 100% confidence in all things?
Because I don't think there's one single truth out there that, I mean, if you know it, you're basically on your own in finding it. So I'm not confident that I know the truth exactly. So I can't be confident in all things.
Oh, okay. You believe, is it possible?
Most likely. I don't see why not. But it's an idea I think that needs to be brought to people's attention. I don't think it's something people think about on a daily basis.
The confident, 100%?
Yeah, or something that's taught.
Do you believe you could be like Christ?
Yeah.
You can? And how?
I've been like him before.
Oh, you were like him before?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
I don't know. I didn't know I was like him before, but thinking back, yeah, I kind of was, but I don't know. It just, life happens, and I kind of think when you ask about what evil spirits we have, I kind of have the one of, like, why not? You know, like, why not have another drink? It's not going to hurt. It's not this or that, you know, or I have this amount of time, I could do something.
Oh, okay. Amazing. So let me do this real fast, and then I want to move. I can't believe the time. Joe, you have 100% confidence?
I wouldn't say 100%.
And why not?
I'm confident. Why not? I'm still getting to know myself.
I'm sorry?
I'm still getting to know myself.
Oh.
So I wouldn't say it's 100%, but I have confidence.
But not 100%?
No.
You believe it's possible?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Amazing. What have you learned from being in these meetings about yourself? What have you realized? The young lady. And then I want to go to this young lady over here next.
That I've been accumulating 39 years of wicked wisdom.
So what now?
That I've accumulated 39 years, well, not I, but I've accumulated wicked wisdom. So I didn't realize how evil, like, because I was reflecting on a question, and I was thinking about someone I thought I really, really, really loved, right? And then the thoughts took me to to this person's funeral, right? And that I was like at there speaking there, and I was like, and it brought me to the realization, like, wow, like good and bad, like that is evil. You know, you can't be half and half. And so I realized, like, I'm a half-breed, but I'm not a half-breed, you know? And, like, because, you know, and that's what is evil. And, you know, and I didn't realize it. It's just, like, that this mind is so wicked and, like, stupid and self-destructive.
Nice. Yeah.
So, like...
What have you realized since being attending these meetings about you and life or whatever?
I realized that I was really angry, and I didn't realize that until I really started paying attention to what you were saying. And I saw I was really resentful, and I was very judgmental. But I think the anger is the main thing that I realized. And then, you know, I went and forgave my parents back in July. And so I think even just over the last few months, I've noticed a lot of change where I even just see in myself, I'm so much more patient and understanding with other people. Because I guess I found you maybe about 2 years ago, something like that, and really just went down a really, really bad path for a while until, yeah, I think it all just kind of set in of, you know, I'm making these choices because there is something really internally not balanced with me. And I think I realized that did come from things with my upbringing that I was still carrying with me, and there was no need to do that.
Right on. Okay, interesting. How about you? What have you realized and learned about what's happening to you?
I realized that I'm crazy. This week, there was there was something that was happening, and I knew that I didn't have control over this situation. But the thoughts kept telling me to fight, to argue with people that didn't have anything to do with it. And I was just watching the thoughts, and I realized I don't have control over this, so might as well just give it up. And I was just, it felt like I was in hell, because I felt like I was just being tormented and just going crazy, because I would try to let go of the thought, but it just kept coming back, and it kept coming back stronger and stronger, and it felt really overwhelming. But I decided to I'm just going to go to sleep. I'm not going to worry about it. And the next day, it was resolved. And I knew that God would take care of it.
Yeah.
So I'm realizing, like, there's a lot of craziness in my mind. Yeah.
Amazing. Yep, you're crazy, all right. And what have you learned from these meetings or about yourself, blah, blah, blah?
It just became clear how easy you can make life and how much more ecstatic you can be for every day. Even though it's not like the best thing happening, you can still have a great day even though like a certain situation is not working out your way. There's still, it's just that fact of the matter that's not working out. There's still an infinite amount of joy that you can focus on instead of just the one thing that didn't work out. You can still enjoy your life. Just ignore that compulsive reaction that wants you to be like, oh, it didn't work. Just ignore whatever thing you're feeling. Just like you say, just watch it and go by. And don't even try. It'll get to a point where you don't even skip a beat. You're like, oh, that happened, whatever, and then you'll just be enjoying life. That's it. Yeah.
How about you, me? What have you realized about yourself or learned that you didn't know before?
Definitely how useless thoughts are. I had this mindset that I could think my way through problems.
Speak up a little bit.
I had this mindset that I could think my way through problems, and if I just worked hard enough at that and grinded through it, I'd get through it. And I realized how you don't have to. You can just kind of live and let things happen, and a lot of things will just work themselves out. I also realized that up until kind of early teens, I really was like in the world, but not of it. And at some point, I was convinced that there was something wrong with me because I wasn't as involved in all the drama and stuff as people around me. And I kind of realized like how complete I was just as a kid. So I was just born that way. And I think we all are.
Amazing. Okay. And do you have no fear?
I don't have no fear, but I do see my fear dissolving as I learn to catch those thoughts and not identify with them. I really do.
Okay. Francisco, what have you learned? About yourself and about life since attending these meetings?
The problems that I've had in my life are problems that, you know, I made, and I realized that I can't fix things and I can't make things happen, and to let go, and so that's made me happy. And when I'm in that position where I just kind of observe and you know, chill,
And how did you let go?
For me, it's been not listening to my thoughts about situations, fixing things, and like that. Just letting them go.
Do you have total confidence?
No. What the hell is that? No. No.
Do you think it's possible to have that?
Now that I think about it, I guess if you're Christ-like, but even Christ was tempted and he was afraid. I don't know. I don't know, because even Christ was afraid.
And you believe Christ was afraid?
Well, yeah.
Of what?
I guess if I get Bible stuff, when God pulled away from him on the cross, and he was all by himself. I don't know. It just comes to mind.
And so you don't believe it's possible to have full confidence?
I don't think about that anymore. I don't even, I don't think about total confidence.
Why not?
I think about what situation that I'm in. I don't think about confidence. I don't.
Why not?
I don't. I used to, but I don't anymore.
Why not?
It's not my focus. Taking
So
care.
you don't want full confidence?
I don't even think about confidence. I just deal with what I have to deal with.
And you don't want it?
I don't even think about it. No.
I'm sorry?
No, I guess not. No,
Oh.
I don't. I don't even think about it. It's not on my mind.
And do you believe it's possible?
Sure, all things are possible.
So you believe it's possible to have full confidence?
Sure.
So why don't you think about it then?
Because it's not what I don't think about it. It's not in my imagination. I used to think about it when I was a kid. I used to think of it because I was empty inside. I had lots of fear, and I thought this would help me. This would,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How are things for you? In the back right here. Now that you're working on you.
A lot better.
In what way?
I've become real patient. It's taught me a lot of patience and.
With everybody?
Yes. That's pretty much. It's helping me a lot. I mean, I thought I was in control, but you're not, I guess.
Do you still want to be in control?
Yes and no, until my kids are on the right path and they're grown up. And then it's not in me it's not in my hands anymore.
Oh, okay.
The confidence part, like I'm confident in my work and what I do and how I provide and how I live, but spiritually, no.
You're not?
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
To be guided in the right, path
Okay.
and stuff.
And what have you learned about you and about life and since coming to these meetings?
Well, I already knew the mistakes that I made were wrong, but I learned that I could actually overcome them from coming here. I haven't yet.
You have not?
Not completely, but I'm at a good place in terms of recognizing everything. Because before there were things that kind of got away from me, and I didn't realize that until I started coming here and working on myself, and then I looked, I'm like, wow, all this. And I changed my perspective of I'm not a victim anymore. Like, I did a lot of well, if this person this and that, the typical stuff that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
That's gone. I'm taking full responsibility in the real sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do you believe you can have full confidence? Do you have full confidence already?
Well, not necessarily. Only based off my track record. Like, I don't want to get too cocky. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But as far as being like Jesus, what was interesting about that is I think he did have fear, but we know how the story ends. So the difference between we all have fear, but do you go through with it or do you sell out? and he didn't.
How about
So it's-
you?
Well, my story's not over yet.
Are you going through your fears?
Yes.
And how? For those who don't know how to do that, how are you doing it?
Okay, well, so there are things that I could easily cop out on. Let's just make it simple.
Right.
And I'm not. I'm dealing with those things. So I'm not afraid to deal with those things.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
It does.
Perfect.
Okay. Right here. Do you know what the biblical question is for this week?
Yeah, was it, why don't you presume others innocent before proven guilty?
Yeah. And why don't you?
I thought about that. The people that I do that to, I found that those are the people I don't like or trust. So the people I do like and trust, that doesn't go cross my mind. But the people that I don't like or trust, I think it's, I don't know, I think like a reason, I'm looking for a reason to fight. Because they're never like the ones. Like if something's missing, I'm like, oh man, they took it. But then I'll find it later. They never took it. You know what I mean? They never take it. People never do. You know what I mean? It's so. I've done that many times. It's gotten less over the years, but it's a weird thought right to your mind. It goes right to your mind and go, oh, they took it. You're like, why am I even thinking that? It's crazy. Like automatic, almost an automatic reaction used to be for me. And they never took it. Just lost it.
Okay.
I think it's down to looking for a fight.
Amazing. Right behind you. Did you do the assignment?
Well, I know the
biblical
question,
yeah.
yes.
And how about you?
Well, I've been...
Why don't you presume others innocent until proven guilty?
I do presume people are innocent.
I'm sorry?
I do not think people that are guilty right away.
You don't?
No, I don't even
think... No one at all?
I don't even think OJ did it. So I'm saying because I've been on the other end where people presumed I was guilty, and knowing that as a respondent of that, I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt because of my own experience.
Okay. Yeah. Amazing. That's good, man. I saw this real life story of a real life where these two guys worked together at a hospital. They were really good friends. And then one of the guys got married, and his wife started messing around, all kind of stuff, right? But the guy was killed, and so they thought his best friend had killed him because the best friend was friends with the wife too. And so everybody assumed that he was guilty, and all his friends turned on him right away. His family members turned on him. He lost his job, so he was unable to work, couldn't pay the house notes or anything. And everybody assumed he was guilty. They just assumed it. There was no proof of it. It's just that the detectives were investing him along with everybody, right? And they just thought he was jealous of his best friend, his wife, and stuff like that. And they assumed he was guilty. And later on, they found out that he had nothing to do with it. They were still best friends. He had nothing going on with the wife. The wife's other boyfriend killed her, right? And in the meantime, everybody just assumed right away he was guilty. Nobody assumed that he might not be. And he lost everything. And now that they have found out that it wasn't him, he lost everything. Isn't that amazing? All human beings are guilty of that, except the ones that are learning the lesson. You're not supposed to assume anything, really. Number one, it's not your business. Okay, if they're guilty, fine. If they are, if they're not, fine. That's on them, right? But human nature is evil, and it doesn't do that. Human beings are evil. Look around you. You can see, look at all the destruction around you. In families and everywhere. It's coming through human beings. It's not out there on its own floating around. It's inside of human beings. And human beings are wicked. When God said, don't trust human beings, he wasn't playing. Look at husbands and wives. What do they do the day after the next morning after the wedding? They have sex all night, and then they start the fight. Have you noticed that? And the fight lasts forever until they leave. And then they go fight with someone else. Human nature is what has to change. And it will if you work on yourself. You got to work on yourself. You got to work on yourself. Did you do the assignment, the biblical question? Yeah. Why you presume others innocent before proving guilty? You just assume that they're guilty.
Well, I mean, if I don't know them, like I think I mentioned this last week, if I don't know them, then I assume they're innocent. If it's someone that I really know, that I know them, grew up with them, I've known them, I know the things they do, what they've done, then yeah, if they accuse you of something, yeah, I'm going to assume that you're guilty, if I know you personally, like really deeply.
And is that the right thing to do?
I mean, I have family members that I know what they've done, what they did, and like if they were accused of something, then oh yeah, you did it, you know.
So if they're accused again, is it the right thing to do to just assume they're guilty?
If you knew them, if you know them, and you know the things they've done, then yeah. But if you don't know them, then
so if you know them and they did all these bad things, right? You know what they do, and then you hear one more thing about them, you're saying that you should assume that they were guilty?
yeah, because I know the way, I know that they've done it before.
Would you say that you're?
It's not proper.
And why not?
Because you still don't know. It's still judgment. You're making a judgment based off of something you think you may know because you know the person, but you really don't know.
Because suppose, you know how you rape all these women, right? And then you get another chance to rape again, and you don't rape because you realize you were wrong. You won't rape, but then they accuse you of raping, but you didn't do it.
But
But everybody else said, I know he did it. You raped it, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't do it because you realized you were wrong. I mean, it's wrong to do it. You understood why you were doing it. And you don't rape, but your family member, everybody's going to assume you raped. Is that fair to you?
Well, even if I didn't do it, then I mean, no.
Is it fair to you?
Based on the previous actions of if I did it previously, then I can't rely on my family's.
No, that's not
support.
the question. Is it right for them to assume that you did that last one?
Well, it's right for them based on my previous actions.
It's right for them to do that?
If I did that, you know.
Let's say you did 100, you did 99 rapes.
Yeah.
And then you had a chance to do 100. But you didn't do the 100.
Mhm.
But everybody know you raped 99. Are they right to assume you're guilty of the 100?
Yes, because of my 99 previous offenses.
That's amazing. All right.
I
What do
mean,
you
but
say to that?
It's like, yeah.
I think, yeah, we can't judge people because there, I think, is sometimes a defining moment in people. Like, I mean, I don't think most people don't change, but sometimes they will.
Yeah.
And I look at myself and I'm like, how could I have ever made those decisions? But, you know, it's like, it did just click one day of like, wow, that was so wrong. And I see it now where I know I wouldn't make that same choice again.
Yes.
And so I
But
wouldn't
he
want
would
somebody to hold
assume you
that.
guilty because he know you. That's you, his little sister. You grew up in the house with you, and he know you stole the cookies 100 times.
Mhm.
Now realize she's gonna be working on herself. Maybe this time she really didn't do it, but he'll just assume along with the other family members that you're guilty.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is, and I think I see it as that's how some of my family sees me, is like, oh, well, you have this track record of X, Y, Z, so why should I believe that things are different now? But I know that that's not really my problem, you know, because I know who I am and what their opinion of me doesn't really matter.
Absolutely. Right on. Yes, Frankie.
It is very dangerous to
I'm sorry?
It's dangerous to guess that because somebody did 99, they've got to have done the 100. This is what they do when they go to court and they have attorneys arguing with each other, and they're trying to give evidence so that the jury can judge that person. Once it's in their mind, they are guilty. They're dead.
Yeah.
And so you can't do that. You have to go by the facts. Tell me about this one, not the 99. I don't want to know about the 99. Matter of fact, if I know about the 99, I'm automatically going to judge guilty.
Absolutely.
And that's why you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have that kind of mentality. You've got to be able to see what's here, what's now.
What's happening right now.
Right now. Otherwise,
amazing.
That person's guilty.
Human nature is a mess, huh? How do you see human nature now?
How do I see human nature now? And
Now that you're waking up, you see
Oh.
human beings as they really are. What do you think about human nature?
I think we all suffer the same thing. The only difference is, I think, from looking at people I know, going back to what he said, that's a tough one, because some of these people I feel like I could get through to them sometimes. I still have that problem.
You feel like what?
I can get through to them. But every time I start thinking that, then I get lost and I get off track.
Yeah.
So
why do you think you could get through to anyone?
Because, well, I keep saying the same answer over and over again. It's because I'm an idiot.
Absolutely.
But it's true. That's
no,
like
it is.
Really, I'm starting to see that clearly.
You're just like her.
I don't think somebody could have got through to me 5 years ago with this. Like, I found this the way I did. There was no pressure. There was no influence. I just started listening, and because you get excited. That's, I think, probably common with most people that come here. You get excited and you want to go tell everybody, hey, it's kind of simple, but you're not complete yourself. That's what I keep having to remember. Like, I'm not there yet. Who am I to start telling you all this stuff?
Absolutely. Do you see the wickedness of human beings?
Yes, including myself. We're all in it together.
Yeah.
I didn't come here thinking, okay, now I'm better than all these people, but when they forgive their mother, then they'll be on my level. I don't think like that either. But there was a couple seconds where I was like, you see? And that's my nature, so come full circle, yes, we're suffering the same thing.
Nice. Let me take here first, Frankie, and then Frankie. Yes.
Yes. So, based on what we just talked about, not concentrating on the 99, just concentrate on the 100th offense. Like, forget about the 99. Okay. So, what about people who have previous arrest records? Like, that affects their judgment in court, right? I mean, even if they try to change their life or whatever, the 100th offense, the judge is going to look at the 99 other offenses, right?
Right.
So,
but the jury should not look at that. They should look at with that 101. They should look at it without any assumption at all, and they should hear the evidence and make the decision based on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but
because human nature is so wicked, it won't do that.
Yeah.
Because right away the devil tell you, oh yeah, they're guilty. It's like your wife. Remember when your wife called up and told the police?
Well, I never had a wife, so I don't know that. But you say my mom, I was.
You beat your mama?
I was there with my mom and my dad. I grew up with them. Yeah. So
you beat your mama?
No, I didn't beat my mama. No, she beat me. She beat me. I didn't beat her. She beat me.
All right. Yeah. I gotta wind down, Frankie.
Yeah.
I had a chance to kind of think about confidence because that was a word.
Oh no!
And
now he thought. I never think about that.
I realized the devil used to put that word in my head to make me, to give me courage, and to make me think that okay, now that I've got this, I got it. I ain't got it now, and I think it's just another crazy word the devil gives us to make us believe something.
Go to Hake. Any other questions about anything? Okay. Yes. Did you do the why don't? What's the biblical question?
Why don't you?
Go ahead.
Why don't you presume others innocent unless proven guilty?
And you say?
At first, I thought I do presume others innocent, but that's not actually true. That's only true if it's kind of like to my favor, makes me look good. It's somebody on my side.
Amazing.
Like it's a white or something.
Yeah. It's a white?
Yeah, a white or a cop or something. But with one of my callers, like I have like a battle going on with one of my callers.
Yeah.
And I noticed that I kind of tend to assume stuff about him that I don't actually know to be true. And I don't know why it is, but I did notice that I actually do assume that they're guilty of something.
Yeah. It's amazing how the mind can feed you assumption based on a conversation or something you heard or blah, blah, blah. And you go along with that assumption thinking that it is true.
Yeah.
For example, if you're a Republican and somebody else is a liberal, right? And as soon as they say, well, I'm for abortion, right away you think, oh, this person is no good, this person killed babies, this person is bad. All of a sudden, it's bad. You go in your head and you see this person, everything bad. A baby killer, blah, 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 right? But you don't know that about the person at all. All you know is there's one thing that you disagree with, but the devil built assumptions on everything else. And you think you're doing it when it's really in the mind. That's why you're doing that to that person.
Interesting. Yep.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That's why you got to pay attention to thought. They're all lies.
It tempts you to jump into stuff that you know nothing about. And like in political debates, you start to think that you care about something that you don't actually know or care about and shouldn't even really be commenting on.
That's right. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes. And then I want to come here, Joel. They have a couple of questions.
I think even in the situation where you're learning a lesson because you probably were assumed guilty when you were innocent, I think it's the same situation. I think no one should assume either or. It's the same. Assuming someone is innocent or assuming someone is guilty. If, let's say, you're going through a situation, I've been through a situation where I was assumed guilty and I was innocent, and then when it occurs that someone is being assumed guilty, the mindset to say they could be innocent is really looking at it through my experience, which is also messed up. It should just be a situation of, I don't know what happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It should all be based on right now. Not the past, not the future, but right now, all the time. And you can't go wrong there. Yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, I think I remembered it. Is it possible to completely resist evil and just can be completely separate from it? Or is it better to just go away from it and be away from it, evil?
It's possible to resist it, period. Right then and there. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Well, first, to answer the biblical question.
Yeah.
I do notice that it's the thought that comes first. Like, let's say a person did steal something from you, and then you're missing it again.
Yeah.
Like this gentleman said. That's exactly what goes through my head too. Like, it's just the first thought, like, oh, they must have stolen it.
Yeah.
But then I just drop it, and it's like, oh, well, if they stole it, whatever, may they shove it up, you know. That's what I say. I just let it go.
Nice. Okay.
But then my other question is, today I woke up like at 5 in the morning, and I saw a video. It was this guy called Healthy Gamer, GG.
Well, no,
and he's like a,
right now, so
oh,
I'm not
sorry.
aware of him.
Okay. He does like psychologist. He's like a psychologist.
They're all crazy.
Well,
No,
he was.
I'm playing.
He was talking about this new phenomenon called crap life syndrome that's kind of going around in the psychology world.
Crap life?
Well, it's the S word, but I'm using crap life syndrome.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of psychologists, they're talking about it because a lot of people are being like, I guess, overwhelmed by so many things that they're being diagnosed with like 10 things at the same time. And he reviewed it, and he was kind of saying that this is almost impossible. That it's just that these little circumstances that people that are in a mental state where they don't where they don't really think about the future, because they've been put down as a kid. Like as a kid, they learned not to think about the future so much.
You're better off if you don't think about the future.
That's the thing, though. He said that a lot of his patients that are in the opposite spectrum, that they have like bucket lists of things that they want to do. And so my question is that practical
No.
to have? Oh, it's not practical.
You don't want to be ambitious at all.
Oh, okay.
Because you're crazy if you think about the past. You're crazy if you think about the future.
Even
Because-
practical thoughts like I want to go on a hike or later
well,
on.
practical things like that, yeah, I'm going to go hiking. But
Or like I want to run a marathon in a year. Is that practical, or is that
yeah, that's
still-
fine. Because you're not thinking about that every day. You're not getting it. Hopefully,
It's not like, oh, I'm gonna get all the girls because I'm gonna run a marathon. That's
Right.
evil,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna run a marathon because I want to be the best.
Okay.
Or because I'm gonna run the marathon because I'm gonna win.
So having
Yo-
little, like a bucket list, a practical bucket list, would kind of help me.
As long as you don't get a sense of identity from it at all.
Okay. Because I feel like I'm on the opposite spectrum where, like, I feel that life is kind of boring. So therefore, I'm like, okay, maybe I should make some kind of practical bucket list.
No.
No.
Don't make a bucket list. Just make one.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Just one goal.
Yeah. One at a time.
Okay. All right,
You
that
know
was
what I
my
mean?
question. Yeah, because
Because you don't want to become ambitious. You don't want to have to worry about it. You don't want to think about it. Let's say you want to run a marathon, right? And the marathon is going to happen July, White History Month. July 4th. And so you get up and just start preparing. Just run every day, exercise, eat right. And when July comes, you're just ready for it. And then you go out and run. Don't think, oh, I'm going to beat these black people from Africa.
so don't get an identity from it. Just
right.
do it.
Absolutely. Go out and have fun with it. Don't compare yourself to anyone. And while you're running, don't be looking back and all around to see who's catching up with you. Or just simply live it. Just do it. And when the race is over, you're done with it. It's over. And you won't be a winner or a loser. There will be nothing to think about.
Yeah, that's what the guy was saying, that he deals with winners and losers. And he sees that the losers kind of feel stuck. And he sees that the winners don't feel stuck because they have this little practical kind
Well,
of...
they are stuck. If they think of themselves as a winner, they're stuck.
Yeah.
Because now they got to work hard to never be a loser again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't want to work at anything.
You just want to let it happen.
You just want to have a simple life. And that's an amazing life.
All right.
Good point, man.
I'll try.
Yeah, let go.
I'll try.
Yeah. Yes, sir, real fast.
So, going back to the biblical question, why do I assume?
Why don't you
why don't I
presume others innocent unless proven guilty?
Well, this goes back to the Bible when Jesus said that no one's a prophet in his own land. Are you familiar with that story?
I am, but I don't know what it had to do with that.
When he went back to Bethlehem, his
Right.
hometown. He performed. Well, I don't know the exact story, but just to make it short, he didn't perform as many miracles as in other places, because nobody believed him. When they said, "Oh, that's him. Is he the guy? I know him. He's the son of a."
He's a carpenter.
Well, no. Well, the
lazy.
illegitimate son of
right
a carpenter, or he was
Your
born out of
daddy.
wedlock or whatever. Because they didn't believe he was the son of a virgin.
Right.
So he didn't perform very few.
And the point you're trying to make
miracles.
is what? Go ahead.
Because people who know you aren't going to believe you.
Right, but that doesn't make it right.
Well, that's what I'm just.
That's what we were saying with you. If you knew somebody that committed 99 rapes, and then you hear that they did another, you shouldn't
It's going to
assume
be
that
difficult to believe that they're innocent. That's what I'm saying.
Why?
Well, because they did 99.
No,
offenses.
because you have the judgment on them. It's because you.
Well, even if they did it
And
to
so
me,
if Christ came back to try to heal you, he wouldn't be able to heal you because you remember when he was a slut maker.
Mhm.
You're like, he was a slut maker.
But
how
it's going
he
back
gonna
to human
heal
nature.
somebody?
It's very difficult.
But
to,
human nature is evil. That's the problem.
Yeah, so it's very hard. It's hard.
Not if you overcome human nature, it won't be hard.
Yeah.
That's a good point,
So,
though.
but yeah, the biblical story when he went back to Bethlehem,
Right.
he didn't perform as many miracles as he did in other
Because
places.
the people judged him.
Yeah, people judged him, of course. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Right. Uh-huh.
And they missed out on the healing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Last question. Way in the back. Yeah.
So in the spirit of weaving / answering a couple questions here, your original question at the very beginning is like if you look at the olden days, like my grandparents, etc. I just remember like my grandpa, for example, if I did something wrong, he would just ask me, "Did you do it or did you not do it?"
Absolutely.
Right? It wasn't this whole like drawn out thing. He would literally just ask me, "Did you do it?" And if I answered, he'd say, "You're guilty." If I didn't say I didn't do it, then he didn't say like, "Okay, you had this whole history. I know you've done this X, Y, Z before." It was very direct. And then
he didn't say, well, "I know you stole it the first time. You stole it this time," and blah blah blah. He doesn't get into all that. Did you do it? No. Okay.
Exactly. And then just my one little question.
And that's the same thing with Jesus. Jesus asked, do you have anger in your heart? If you say yes, then you'll be free from it. Just like that, but you're going to say no. I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's why he can't free you right away. Good point, man.
And then the last part is just, your question about like what have we learned or what have I personally learned?
Yes.
I'm trying to really understand better is like the present moment, like really embracing the present moment, not living in the past and in the future, because we've been trained to be like, okay, what is your history? What's your track record? What are you going to become? Who are you going to be?
Yeah.
And trying to figure out all those, but the reality is both don't exist. The only thing that does exist is the present moment, and then being able to be like confident in that present moment to say I can make the right decision or
Yes.
take the right action is kind of all. That's what I'm kind of figuring out as well.
Right on, man. Stay with it. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And so I had to get back to you with the confidence thing, right? Okay. I'm going to give you an assignment instead.
Okay.
This is an assignment for everybody this week, for 1 week only. Who still have fear? Sometimes you just feel a little fear about something. Okay. How about the guy that sleep that want to 100 questions about his mama? Here's your assignment. If you want total confidence, and you're supposed to have total confidence, you're not supposed to have any fear at all. Fear is abnormal. It's normal for the human nature, but it's not normal for the God's nature, the spiritual nature, the real nature, right? So for 1 week, if you want confidence, I want you to shake in your boot with nothing to rely on. The next time someone says something to you and it makes you angry, or it makes you feel a little nervous, or makes you afraid, or someone say hi to you and you don't want to say hi back, but you feel afraid that if you don't say hello back, they're going to judge you. She didn't say hello. Or you might not get invited to a party. Or you're in a room and you feel a little uncomfortable sitting close to everyone, so you want to sit way in the back. Sorry. I want to encourage you for 1 week. Everybody out there, the assignment is to shake in fear this week with nothing to rely on. Shake in fear for 1 week. If you want confidence, you can have it. But you got to shake in fear. In fear, worry, doubt, insecurity, loneliness, not sure what's going to happen, not sure how things are going to turn out. I want you to shake in fear this week until next Sunday.
No smoking on it, right?
No smoking on it. Shake in fear.
So like the day before the election type of thing?
You get this? So what now?
Interesting week that you chose here. For this
What a
assignment.
week to be shaking, huh?
Yeah. It's not going to be hard.
I'm going to feel the earth move from under my feet. Yeah, shaking fear at work or anywhere. Or if a thought comes about your past or your future, shaking fear. What an assignment, huh? What do you think about that assignment?
I think it's a good assignment. I think I've been trying to work on that more, and I am overcoming just slowly but surely. But I think, like this gentleman is saying, I think this will be a very interesting week to
Yeah.
do that in particular. So I'm looking forward to it.
I forgot about election week. What a time to tell you to shake. It was perfect time. It's like when I tell you to go to your mother and forgive her, and you say, oh no, I can't do that, I'm afraid, or she might get mad. But I'm like, go shaking in your boots anyway. Shaking your boot, and then once you face her, the fear of that leave, right? Same thing. This week, shaking your boot. What's the assignment?
To shake in my boots.
The next time you go to the meeting and the devil tell you, sit in the back. Shaking your boot, go up front. You know what I mean? Amazing. Any questions about the assignment? So I want to encourage you to stay with it, stay with it. I promise you, if you stay with it, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be, surprised is not the right word. You're going to be amazed at how amazing your life is going to start working out. And everything you've been taught has been wrong. Everything you've been taught. From the day you popped out of your mama's womb until the moment that you start waking up and working on yourself, you've been taught wrong. That's why you've been suffering. When I gave you that assignment about don't judge with thoughts, eyes, words, little gestures, or emotions. Wasn't that an amazing assignment? Most people didn't last a day. Because, and a lot of you say, well, you know, I didn't know I judged that much. I didn't know that I was that judgmental, that I can't even live without judging. You know what I mean? You can live without judging, and you're wrong for judging. You're evil for judging. And like I said, Christ knew everybody's business. The worst of the worst, he never judged. But he pointed the way to overcome it. That's what men and women, especially ladies who are waking up, point the way to overcome rather than judging. Get some understanding. And once you get understanding, you can't judge. You would never get mad at your wife again or your husband. You would never try to make someone change. And it wouldn't bother you either way if they change or not. Because you will realize that's their lives, that's what they want. That's the way they want to be, that's the way they want to live. Who am I to judge? God's not judging them. Oh, I'm not going to be friends with that person. They this and they that. Who are you? You're playing God. You're not being like your brother Jesus. And we are supposed to be like him. He even said, greater work shall we do than what he's done. How you going to do greater when you judging people and revengeful and jealous and fighting and trying to make people, and like you were saying, the moment you learn a little truth, you want to run out and tell everybody because you want the world to think you're smart. That's the only reason you're doing it. And not like you're trying to help. Oh, I'm trying to help my wife. Why? Oh, I'm trying to make her be right. Why? Because I'm trying to help. The real reason you're doing it because you want her. You don't care about her getting it right because if you did, you'll leave her alone. Let her work herself out. But you're trying to tell her the truth because you want her to control her. You want her to be where you want her to be. And that's evil. You could be free, live a free life, and let the world go around. You just get off the merry-go-round. and let the world go around. You can be in it, but not of it, and have an amazing life. But you got to die from the ego. You got to die from these thoughts and emotions and limited paths of the future. You got to die from all that if you want to live. So work on you and let everybody else work on themselves. If they don't want to work, that's fine. Don't be mad at them because they don't want, even if it's your children. Your adult children don't want to do what you want them to do, fine. Okay, go to, well, I thought I said go there. But you're already in. Or stay in hell. Because every angry person is in hell. You're miserable. You have no peace. You can have peace. Don't let anyone tell you can't. Oh, you can't have peace on earth because you're a human being. What a lie. You can have perfect peace right here. Christ came that you may have peace. And he came to divide. Divide you from your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your children, your friends, from the world. Let the evil be with the evil and the good be with the good. So work on yourself, all right? And the assignment is what?
To shake in your boots.
Yes. All right, thank you all. That's the assignment. Okay. Let me just ring it up and then I'll come to you. Let me finish it. Thank you all for this so much. I absolutely appreciate it. Work on yourself, all right? Work on yourself. And don't forget, don't react to this lecture thing. Whatever both sides, don't react. Okay, it went that way, fine. And don't you be personally affected by it. And no matter who become president or who become whatever, you'll be fine. You really will. But you got to put your eyes on you, all right? And the assignment this week, shaking your boots. Shake in your boot. Nobody know you shaking but you. All right, just shake and shake. All right. Thank you all. Don't forget your donations and offering. I appreciate it. Tax deductible from all the nonprofit stuff. Men's Forum this week. This Thursday is Men's Forum, the first Thursday of the month. And ladies, we missed last month, but if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise these next 2 months, this month, next month, we're going to have a fight. Women's Forum. You guys missed the last Women's Forum. Oh my God. I can't tell you, but it's one I will never forget. But anyway, ladies, so we'll meet the third Thursday of this month, but this week for men only. All right, work on yourself, and if no one else wants to, that's fine. Don't bother with them. Don't judge them. You just work on you. All right? Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. No.